Dasarindavanam Vande Krishna Dasarindavanam Vande Krishna Dasa Parum Tata Chanavatar Chaitanya Lila Vistar Karino Nityananda Parabjam Karuna Dena Bushito Vyakta Chano Budachincho Vavande Vyasadupino Shri Guru Gaur Gandharva Govindas Chaganai Saha Jayanti Patakas Ch.Ch Sarvesham Kudunartino. Okay, so we are continuing with Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and I see devotees are in the middle of Madhya Lila chapter 23. Mahaprabhu coming to the end of his instructions to Srila Sanatana Goswami. Maybe this is the last, no, because then there's the Atmarama explanations. Yeah, so then that's, so it's like 4 or 5 chapters, Mahaprabhu's instructions to Sanatana Goswami. And I'm going to go back to the beginning of this chapter, because you're not so far in, and it's very beautiful. So this is Prayojan Tattva, the goal of life, the highest attainment of life, Krishna Prema. Jai Shri Gurudeva. Chirada datam nija gupta vitam swaprema namamritam atyudadaha apamaram yo vitatara goda Krishno janebhyastam aham prapadye. The most munificent Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as Gaura Krishna, distributed to everyone, even the lowest of men, his own confidential treasury, in the form of the nectar of love of himself and the holy name. This was never given to the people at any time before. The most munificent Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as Gaura Krishna, distributed to everyone, even the lowest of men, his own confidential treasury in the form of the nectar of love of himself and the holy name. This was never given to the people at any time before. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Very beautiful. Jaya Jaya Gaur Chanja, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chanja, Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Ebe Shuno Bhakta Fall, Prem Prayojan, Jahar Shavane Hoy Bhakti Rasa Gyam. So Mahaprabhu is continuing with his instructions, and he says, now hear, O Sanatan, about the result of devotional service, which is love of Godhead, life's ultimate goal. So, as Mahaprabhu also explains, these three categories, Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojam. And what is Abhideya? What is the way, the path? Bhakti. And if one can practice Bhakti properly, or in other words, everything that they do is for the satisfaction of Krishna. That is really the meaning of Bhakti. What will be the fruit of that? If one can do that, then the fruit, Bhakti fall, Prem. Then Prem will awaken, divine love for Sri Krishna. So Mahaprabhu continued, now hear, O Sanatan, about the result of devotional service, which is love of Godhead, life's ultimate goal. One who hears this description will be enlightened in the transcendental mellows of devotional service. Krishna Rati Gada Hoile Prema Vidhan Krishna Bhakti Dasare Stai Bhavnam. When affection for Krishna becomes deeper, one attains love of Krishna in devotional service. Such a position is called Stai Bhav. permanent enjoyment of the mellows of devotional service to Krishna. Shuddha sattva visheshatma prema soryamshu samyabak ruchi bishchittamashunya kridaso bhava uchyate. This is in Bhakti or Samrita Sindhu. When devotional service is executed on the transcendental platform of pure goodness, it is like a sun ray of love for Krishna. At such a time, devotional service causes the heart to be softened by various tastes, and one is then situated in bhav, divine emotion.
Vishakha.
Jai Shri Gurudev, Jai Radharani Devi. Hey Dui Bhaver Swarup Tatasta Lakan, Preme Lakan Ebe Shuno Sanatan. Bhav, emotion, has two different symptoms: constitutional and marginal. Now, my dear Sanatan, listen to the symptoms of love. Purport. The word Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma means situated on the transcendental platform of pure goodness. In this way, the soul is purified of all material contamination, and this position is called Sarup Lakshan, the constitutional symptom of bhav, emotion. By various tastes, one's heart is softened, and there is an awakening of one's loving propensity to render spontaneous service to the Lord. This is called Tatasta Lakshan, the marginal symptom of bhav. And now another quotation from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Samyan ma shrunita swanto mamatva tishayan kitaha bhava sa eva sanjatma buddhai prema nigadyate. So this is kind of like a technical, defining of prema and the development of prema, which, is showing this is a science, It is a very specific science. But practically speaking, not so, relevant for us. But it's good for us to hear, giving us some greater, scope of vision to some degree, some perspective. When that bhav softens the heart completely, becomes endowed with a great feeling of possessiveness in relation to the Lord, and becomes very much condensed and intensified, it is called prema, love of Godhead, by learned scholars. And now another quotation from the Narada Pancharatra, also included in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Ananya mamata Vishno mamata prema sangata bhaktir ichuchate bhishma praladodava naradai. When one develops an unflinching sense of ownership or possessiveness in relation to Lord Vishnu, or in other words, when one thinks Vishnu and no one else to be the only object of love, such an awakening is called bhakti by exalted persons like Bhishma, Prahlad, Uddhava and Narad. Kon bhagye kon jive shraddha jadi hoye tabe se jiv sadhu sangaje karai. If, by good fortune, a living entity develops faith in Krishna, he begins to associate with devotees. So this is also in the famous verse, which is coming up also by Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha. This is the line of progress, development. First, some faith, and then through faith, one can begin to associate with the sadhus. First, there must be a little faith, otherwise it is not possible for true association to take place. And that faith will come through unknowing association in the beginning. So actually, association is the first. We've also heard some explanation that sometimes to emphasize a point, you will reverse the order of things. So it can also be seen, although this verse of Rupa Goswami, Ado Shadha Tata Sadhu Sangha, you can also put it the other way. Ado, first is Sadhu Sangha and then Shadha. Because first there will be that unknowing association, agyata, sukriti, one will unknowingly acquire some spiritual fortune, spiritual merit, and then Shraddha will arise as a result of that. So you can say the real order is Sadhu Sangha, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha. So that unknowing association will qualify us to have conscious association, by which will enable us to consciously enter into the practice and consciously develop. So if by good fortune, bhagya, this word bhagya means fortune, who has spiritual fortune. So also, I don't know if it's mentioned here, but this famous verse which everybody knows, Brahmanda Brahmite kon bhagyavan jeev, Guru Krishna prasade pai bhakti late bij. Gurudev, he would emphasize this bhagyavan jeev, that jiva, that soul who is bhagyavan, who is in possession of bhagya, who is in possession of spiritual fortune. So the fortunate soul, they will get some. Kon bhagya, by some good fortune. What does that mean? By coming in contact with the Vaishnava, with the saint. Kon bhagya, kon jiver, shraddha jadi hoy. Then shraddha will happen. If by some fortune, some jiva, some shraddha arises, then they can properly have sadhu sangha, association with the sadhus. Sadhu sangha hoite hoy shavan kirtan, sadan bhakti hoy sarvanarta nivartan. When one is encouraged in devotion by the association of devotees, one becomes free from all unwanted contamination by following the regulative principles and chanting and hearing. Okay. So, sadhu sangha hoite hoy, shravan kirtan. So, through sadhu sangha, the practice is devotional practices headed by shravan and kirtan. They will develop. One will enter into these practices, and through this devotional practice, sadhan bhakti, then sarvanarta nivartan. In other words, anarta nivritti. So then the purification of our anartas, that will automatically take place. This is also in Rupa Goswami. This is all like an elaboration on this verse. Ado shraddha tata sadhu sangha tato bhajana kriya. Bhajana kriya, our service life. Tato anarta. Then through bhajana kriya, our service, that anarta nivritti, purification, will automatically take place. Anarta nivritti hoile bhakti nishta hoye, nishta hoite shravanadya ruchi upajay. When one is freed from all unwanted contamination, he advances with firm faith. When firm faith in devotional service awakens, a taste for hearing and chanting also awakens. Ruchi hoite bhakti hoye. Because, these things are just covers. So when the cover, this, mundane contamination, these are all covers. And when the covers are removed, then naturally faith, devotion, and real taste, attraction for the Lord and all activity in connection with the Lord, service for the Lord, that will automatically arise. It is our own wealth. It is simply in a dormant state, like a seed. It is in an embryo state. It is there. The propensity is there. It simply needs the favorable environment.
Ruchi hoite bhakti hoy asakti prachor. Asakti hoite chitte janme Krishna prityankor.
After taste is awakened, a deep attachment arises. And from that attachment, the seed of love for Krishna grows in the heart. So these are actually, technical terms that are being used here, also from Rupa Goswami's verse. So, ruchi, taste, ashakti, the strong attachment, and then Krishna prityankor, the seed of love for Krishna, or the seed of prema.
Se bhav gada hoile dore prema nam, se prema prayojan sarvananda dam.
When that ecstatic emotional stage intensifies, it is called love of Godhead, prema. Gada, when it becomes very firm and intense. When that bhav, that divine emotion develops, then it becomes very firm, then it is called prema. Such love, such prema is life's ultimate goal and the reservoir of all pleasure. Sarvananda Dham. It is the Dham of all Ananda. Very nice. Sarvananda. Every type of Ananda, not just one or two types of Ananda, but all types. It is a very comprehensive Ananda. It is the abode of that. That prem, it's inconceivable in our present stage. That prem, which means essentially intensified desire to serve, to give, to sacrifice. That's really what prema means. That mood, that consciousness, that condition of heart is Sarvananda Dham. It is the abode of all Ananda. Just the opposite of what we conceive it to be at present in our endeavors to chew the chewed in this world. That's what it is. We're chewing the chewed. What has no juice, no taste, we're thinking, because we're in this reversed consciousness. We're looking outside when it's actually inside. We're trying to take when actually it will come through giving. A very sad condition. So now we have these two verses of Rupa Goswami's. Ado shadha tata sadhu sango ta bhajana kriya tato narta nivritti syat tato nishta ruchis tata ata saktis tato bhavas tata prema bhudanchati sadhakanam ayam premna pradurbhave bhavet kramaha. In the beginning there must be faith. Then one becomes interested in associating with pure devotees. Thereafter, one is initiated by the spiritual master and executes the regulative principles under his orders. Thus one is freed from all unwanted habits and becomes firmly fixed in devotion. Thereafter, one develops taste and attachment. This is the way of sadhana bhakti, the execution of devotional service, according to the regulative principles. Gradually, emotions intensify, and finally there is an awakening of love. This is the gradual development of love of Godhead for the devotee interested in Krishna consciousness. So, verses such as this, they are like a hammer on all types of sahajaism. There's a particular process, by which one will gradually advance, develop towards the highest goal.
There are particular stages which one must go through before reaching the goal. So if someone is showing that they have prema, but they have not crossed an arti-nivritti, then they're nowhere. It is all imitation. So we will not imitate the behavior or sentiments of one who has prema if we're still stuck in an arti-nivritti. Or, worse, we haven't even properly begun sadhu sangha, we haven't actually begun an actual service life and attempt to surrender, sharanagati. And it is all empty. And now, this is another famous verse from Bhagavatam, very much liked by our gurus. Satam prasangam mama virya samvido bhavanti hitkarna rasayana kata taj joshnad ashva pavarga vartmani shradhada tir bhaktir anukramishati. The spiritually powerful message of Godhead can be discussed only in a society of devotees, and it is greatly pleasing to hear in that association. If one hears from devotees, the way of transcendental experience quickly opens, and gradually one attains firm faith that in due course develops into attraction and devotion. And there's very beautiful explanation of this verse in Heart and Halo, Srila Sridhar Maharshi. This verse is spoken by Kapila Dev, and he appeared as the son of Kardama Rishi and Devahuti Devi, and so after he was born, then his father Kardama Rishi, he left. He thought his duty was finished, and so he was raised by his mother, and then at a certain point, Kapila Dev, he wanted to leave his home, and his mother, observing at that time, his transcendental nature, she thought, and she remembered her husband had told her, this is not an ordinary boy. Then she thought, I must inquire from him. And so she told him, I'm a woman, in the traditional Vedic culture, women don't have so much opportunity for spiritual practice. So what can you advise for me? How can I best make advancement in my spiritual development? And so this advice that Kapila Dev gave, sadhu sangha, to hear about the Lord from the Lord's devotees. That type of what comes from them has some potency. Virya samvida. Oh, he's actually speaking of himself as the Supreme. Kapila Dev is speaking, he's acknowledging his divinity. So he's saying, hearing about me from my devotees. Those talks, those words, as Srila Sridhar Maharaj says very nicely, they are not lip deep, but they have life, they have potency. There's another contrasting verse of Sanatana Goswami. Vaishnava Mukod Girnam begins saying that one should never hear Harikatha from a non-Vaishnav. It is like the comparison is made to milk that has been touched by the lips of a serpent. That apparently that milk looks fine, looks very pure, very attractive, but actually it's been, substantially, if you go to drink that, you'll be poisoned. You'll be dead because it has been touched by the lips of a poisonous snake. So in the same way, to hear Harikatha, to hear topics of the Lord from non-Vaishnavas who have some other intention in mind, that is like that will have the opposite effect. So we're not interested in, some generic way of receiving information, about Krishna consciousness, but that agent through whom we are hearing, that is more important, not more than what is actually being told, that potency behind that, because that potency will affect us on the deepest level. It is not an intellectual, it is not a brain exercise. It is a heart exercise. So Kapila Dev here gives that advice. Hear about me from my devotees. Those kind of talks have life, have spiritual potency. Bhavanti Hritkarna, Rasayana Kata. Those talks, they are like an abode of nectar for the ears and for the heart. Ch.Ch. Ashrapavarga Vartmi. This word is interesting. It's Ch.Ch. It doesn't say Shavana. It doesn't say from hearing. It's saying he doesn't say from hearing those talks. But this word Joshnad means a kind of cultivation. So through cultivation, like it's an active type of hearing. There's a similar idea in the second verse of Bhagavatam, Sushushubis. It's difficult to pronounce that word, but the same idea is there, hearing with this, active desire to serve, not just passive hearing, but actually putting that into practice with the desire to serve and surrender. So Ch.Ch. through cultivation of what has been heard, then Ashrapavarga Vartamini means liberation. Then the path of liberation, freedom from entanglement in this world, that will open. And on the positive side, Shraddha Rati Bhakti. So our Shraddha, taste, devotion, Anukramishati, it will gradually develop. Very nice. This verse is so wonderful. And Srila Gurudev also liked this verse very much. Satam prasangam mama virya samvido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana kata Ch.Ch. Ashrapavarga Vartmani Shraddhara Tir Bhaktir Anukramishati. This verse is so comprehensive, actually. So much is contained within this. Everything, actually, sadhu sangha, proper sadhu sangha, and then purification and positive development in the plane of devotion. Okay, we'll move on to the next verse. Jahar hridoye bhavan kor hoye tahate tek chinna sarva shastre koye. If one actually has the seed of transcendental emotion in his heart, the symptoms will be visible in his activities. That is the verdict of all revealed scriptures. Oh, this verse is very nice. Gurudev liked this verse also, and we used to have it in Dum Dum Park, right by in the old building, the bottom of the stairs, going up to Srila Gurudev's quarters. This verse was printed there. It's describing the symptoms of one in whom prema has begun to develop. So these qualities, and we don't have those qualities, but it's very inspiring to hear these. Like let us try. These are such wonderful qualities. Kshantir avyarta kalatvam viraktir mana shunyata asha bandha samutkanta nama gane sadaruchi. This is like a list, of qualities. Sakti-stad gunakyane priti-stad vasati-stale ityadayo nubhava syur jata bhavan kore jane When the seed of ecstatic emotion for Krishna fructifies, the following 9 symptoms manifest in one's behavior. Forgiveness. Wow. Very nice. Forgiveness. 2. Concern that time should not be wasted. Detachment. Absence of false prestige. Hope. Eagerness. A taste for chanting the holy name of the Lord. Attachment to descriptions of the transcendental qualities of the Lord. And affection for those places where the Lord resides. That is, a temple or a holy place like Vrindavan. These are all called anubhav, subordinate signs of ecstatic emotion. They are visible in a person in whose heart the seed of love of God has begun to fructify. I'm going to read these 9 again. Forgiveness. Number 1, forgiveness. Number 2, concern that time should not be wasted. And in other words, we don't want to. One will not want to waste their time in meaningless pursuits. But all time can be spent in Krishnanushilanam. Detachment from the mundane. Absence of false prestige. Hope. Eagerness. A taste for chanting the holy name of the Lord. Attachment to descriptions of the transcendental qualities of the Lord, and affection for those places where the Lord resides. And if anyone wants to look this up, this is verses 18 to 19 in chapter 23 of the Madhya Lila. We can make a little sign with these verses. Very nice.
He nava prityan kor jar chitte hoye, prakritak shobetar shobna hi hoye.
If love for Krishna in a seedling state has fructified in one's heart, one is not agitated by material things. And now, praman, evidence. And this is very, very nice verse. Param Guru Maharaj has also included in Prapana Jivanamrita, spoken by Parikshit Maharaj when he is on the brink of death. Very nice verse. So this is an example of how one in whom prem has begun to develop, they are detached from the mundane. Tam upayitam pratiyantu vipra ganga cha devi jutta mishe dvijo prashishta kuhakastaksha kova dashatvalam gayata vishnugata. Jai Shishi Varanga Radhakiri Jai. Tam upayatam pratiyantu vipra ganga cha devi jutta chitta mishe dvijo prashishta kuhakastaksha kova dashatvalam gayata vishnugata. O Brahman, so this is his prayer, Parikshit Maharaj, to this assembly. O Brahmins, just accept me as a completely surrendered soul, and let Mother Ganges, the representative of the Lord, also accept me in that way. For I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord in my heart. Let the snake bird, or whatever magical thing the Brahmin has created, bite me at once. I only desire that you all continue singing the deeds of Lord Vishnu. O Brahmins, please accept me as a surrendered soul, and let Mother Ganges also consider me in that way. For I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord into my heart. Let that snake bird, or whatever magical creation that Brahman has incited, bite me at once. I only desire that you all continue singing the glories of the Lord. Some perspective. He's recognizing this is the only valuable thing in this world. This concocted body, mind, this can all go. Has no substantial, existence. But this Hari Katha, glories of the Lord, talk of the Lord, this is the only thing of meaning within this world of in a world of non-meaning. Talk of the Lord is the only thing with meaning. Everything, this world, it is a phenomenal plane. Everything is coming and going. Let it come and go. Let my own body go. I don't care. But let these talks, let them continue. There's one very strong quote of Srila Saraswati Thakur, where he says, we are so attached to the blood and bones of this world, but Hari Katha is the only thing of meaning. So, this is like the root of all spiritual culture. We are trying to see through the ears, through the conception which we have heard from Guru, Vaishnava, Shastra. That is informing our vision, how we will perceive the environment.
Krishna sambandha vina ka vyarta nahi jai. Oh, this is I don't know if this is a quotation. Not a moment should be lost. Every moment should be utilized for Krishna or connected with Him. Purport. Maharaj Parikshit's expression of anxiety is explained in this verse. He says, let whatever is destined to happen take place. It doesn't matter. Just let me see that not a moment of my time is wasted without a relationship with Krishna. One has to tolerate all obstacles on the path of Krishna consciousness, and one has to see that not a moment of his life is wasted outside of Krishna's service. Okay, I think it's a good place to stop for today. Would you like to chant, Prabhu?
Yes.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishnaya
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Srimad Sudana Giridhari Gopinata Madana Mohana Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Radha Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Rupa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gaura Gaur Premanande. Give chai, Prabhu? Can give chai? Okay, don't worry. Jaya Sapadika Shishi Guru Garanga Radha Giridhari Juki Jai Jaya Vishnu Pad Shilabhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Shilabhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Shilabhakti Nirmala Charja Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Saprashad Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai Shri Navadev Dham Ki Jai Shri Ganga Jamuna Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Devi, Vrinda Devi, Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Shama Kundada Kundgiri Govardhan Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Ki Jai Vishwavyapi Tadiya Shakamat Ki Jai Shri Chaitanya Sarasamat London Chapter Ki Jai Tadiya Seva Vrinda Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol Jai Gurudev